What's going on, everybody? Today we're here with a brand new trader interview. Today we're chatting with Demone, who has withdrawn over $10,000 with Blue Guardian so far in two different withdrawals. So we're going to chat to him and find out exactly what his journey was like, chat a little bit, find out how he trades, and just learn a little bit more. So thank you very much for chatting with us today, Demone.
No problem. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, man. I just wanted to start out by asking you, what was it like to get a payout of over, I think your biggest one was over 9 grand. What was it like receiving a payout like that and being able to trade and earn that kind of money?
It actually felt good. That was actually my biggest payout that I've ever had. I've been trading prop firms for years and I've made money, but that single one is my largest payout to date. So it felt good to just level up. Just as traders, we want to have, you know, high success. And I just feel like I was here, then I'm here, and I'm here. And it just feels good to just keep seeing myself leveling up, seeing myself improve, and seeing myself just become the trader that I've wanted to be for years now.
Awesome, bro. That's amazing. What was the process like in terms of your trading experience with Blue Guardian so far, in terms of the platform, and then your process of withdrawing your actual payout?
It was pretty simple. I like Blue Guardian. They're just straight to the point, simple rules. I mean, you trade, you follow the rules, and you get your payout. I use Trade Locker, very simple platform. I love that platform. I started out using MetaTrader, but here recently, it's just everybody's been on Trade Locker. And yeah, I love Trade Locker. It's very simple and straight to the point.
Okay, so what kind of got you into the whole trading game? What interested you? What was your entry way into this whole thing that's kind of blown up for you and started to kind of change your life? Where did you start with trading?
I just couldn't keep a job, if I'm being honest. Like when I was younger, I could not just keep a job, and I just knew the job route, the 9 to 5. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but for me, I didn't like what I was doing, and I just wanted something where I could make money on my own terms. So I ended up seeing like drop shipping, and I looked into that. I didn't really care for it too much, and then I ran into somebody that was trading, and then from there, at first I'm like, what are these charts? I'm never gonna understand this. So at first I looked into it, then I didn't look into it anymore. And then a couple months later, I seen it again. So I said, let me just try it out. And then from there on, I've been trading ever since, just looking at the charts every day, just showing up every day. It's pretty much my lifestyle now. So I'm glad I ran into it.
That's really awesome. And getting to that point is really difficult, right? Getting to the point of profitability at all and getting payouts is not something that people are typically able to consistently do. What was that journey like, and how long did it take you to get profitable and start withdrawing from prop firms?
I wouldn't say I was profitable. When I first started, I did something. I guess I could say it was luck because it definitely wasn't skill. When I first started, I took like $50 to like 12K, and I withdrew 8,000 of it. And I tried to do it again, and it just wasn't working. So I tried it again, like with 1,000, blew it. Tried it with more, blew it. Tried it with less, blew it. And I just was like, dang. And then I ran into prop firms, and I seen how cheap you can get the accounts and access more capital. I can risk more while still risking a little bit. So I'm risking a little bit of the percentage wise. I'm risking a little, but dollar amount, I'm risking a lot. So I just seen that, and I really looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather do that than keep losing my own money and over and over and over trying to blow these accounts. So um, the prop firms, it's definitely been the wave. Prop firms, I think when I first started out, it took me a few months to actually understand and get it, but I think I was pretty quick to get withdrawals. But if you're talking about being profitable as like consistent and long term, like I recently just started being profitable.
Awesome. Would you say that prop firms is a major reason why you started to see profitability?
Yes, I would say that because if it wasn't for prop firms, I'd probably still just be trying to put $100 into an account and flip it, and 500 and flip it. Prop firms just gave me the the capital that I needed to make the money that I was truly trying to make from the beginning.
Awesome. I think it's a big mindset shift, right? Because you're able to, like you said, risk a small percentage of your capital, but then still make enough in a trade to where you can see yourself like actually replacing your income, right? And prop firms give you that opportunity without risking too much of your upfront capital, right? And I think that's where a lot of traders have a big shift in psychology and a big shift in their mindset because of prop firms. And I think the same happened with me as well. I would never have been profitable had I not discovered prop firms, because flipping a small account into huge amounts of money that can replace your income is not real trading. That's just gambling. So prop firms kind of give you the platform to trade and be profitable and trade more like a real trader does, if that makes real sense. What would you say kind
Mm-hmm.
of changed the game for you other than prop firms in terms of the way that you're trading? Was there any one moment that was kind of like your aha moment? Or was it just the prop firm thing that changed it for you?
I can say prop firms definitely help me out because prop firms gives you a set of rules. When you have a personal account, people don't typically have a set of rules. They just do whatever they want, risk whatever they want. Prop firms, you have a daily loss, you have a max loss. You can't risk this, you can't risk that. And a lot of people don't like the rules, but the people that don't like the rules, to me, I feel like they just want to gamble. I feel like the rules keep you in the game long term, and I feel like that was really my turning point where okay, I have to abide by these rules. And at first it was frustrating, but I'm like, okay, these rules are actually helping me. So I think the rules on the prop firms really helped me out. And then once I realized less is more, that's when I really started taking up too. I would always take a lot of trades in a day, but I realized here recently all I need is 1 to 2 good trades and I'm good. I am kind of a scalper, so I do take quite a few trades a week. But like for me, 1 to 2 trades a day, that's all I need.
Right. And like you said, in terms of rules, prop firms enforce rules. And a lot of people struggle to stick to those rules. And as a result, people have a negative view of prop firms. People think that prop firms are maybe scamming people. They think that prop firms have, that people give prop firms a bad rap because of the rules. And there's a lot of people that struggle to stick to those rules and thereby start to blame the prop firm for that. What would you say to people that are skeptical about prop firms? How would you tell them to navigate kind of the prop firm game and get the same kind of advantages that you have trading with Blue Guardian?
Honestly, I could say because I've been through it. I've seen prop firm shutdowns. Like I said, I've been trading for years, so I've seen it all. Honestly, but I'd say just go with a prop firm that's talked about, a prop firm that's trusted, not a prop firm that's just you've never seen anybody trading on, but they're offering this and they're offering that, but you've never seen anybody trade on. Go with a prop firm that you know you can trust, a prop firm that people on the internet are trading with. I mean, just go with somebody that's trusted. Honestly, I've been with many prop firms, and me personally, I've never got denied a payout. I've never got scammed or anything. So it's just you got to find the right one.
What would you say kind of is your highlight about trading with Blue Guardian and the Blue Guardian platform in terms of prop firms in general?
I think here recently, that's just I've traded with Blue Guardian. I mean, this is my second payout, so I've traded with them for a while. I mean, I've been through a lot of challenges and blowing accounts. I'm not gonna lie, I've blown many accounts. I won't say too many with Blue Guardian, but I've blown a few. But I really feel like this go around for me was just the best for me. Like I said, I just feel like I was in a place where I was I was just at my peak. I was sticking to my plan. I was trading my system. Everything was fine. The Guardians platform good. I just had nothing to worry about. Just stress free trading, and I feel like this go around was really my best.
What would your advice to people getting started with trading be if they're just getting into the game? and they want to start getting payouts kind of like you, what would the first steps be of getting started?
Honestly, I would say just don't think about the money at first. Just focus on a skill set. Build discipline. You need a lot of people focus on just only the skill set, but you have to build discipline. You have to build patience. You have to be able to control your emotion. It's not just the skill set. You just have to prepare yourself mentally for it, and then find a strategy, find a good strategy. Start out demo. Like a lot of people want to rush in and just make money instantly, but I mean, you don't want to go in there and just lose money for no reason because you don't know what you're doing. So I would say just start out slow, really find a good strategy, find a good mentor if you can, and just take things slow and just try to learn the basics, and then just keep progressing as you go. There's no rush. Trading's not going anywhere. So I say just start somewhere, find a good mentor, find a good strategy, and go from there.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they say, like trading is supposed to be like a business, right? And if you treat the trading like a business and not a get rich quick scheme, you're more likely to be profitable. A lot of people don't have the patience to let their business get profitable in trading. They want to just make a quick buck, flip their accounts, and cash out like they're at a casino, and then they wonder why they lose money the same way that people lose money at a casino. But like you were saying, finding a strategy, and if you can, finding a mentor can be a really good start in getting profitable and actually getting educated. How would you recommend somebody go about finding a strategy that works for them, and maybe even finding a mentor, especially in this industry now where there's so many scams and so many people that are disingenuous?
I say just like the prop firms. I mean, go with somebody that's known. Go with somebody that's known, and don't just go with a strategy just because you see this guy's making this and make this, and he's doing this and he's doing this. If his strategy doesn't make sense to you, or her strategy, if it doesn't make sense to you, you don't have to go with that one. Just go with a strategy that makes sense to you. And I feel like that's where I messed up. I was just following the people that had the Lambos and stuff like that, but like their strategies just didn't connect with me. You have to find a strategy that you understand completely, and you don't have to rely on signals. A strategy where you can just learn it and go on the charts and do it all yourself.
Right, and let's talk briefly about your strategy, because you've said to me you kind of look at a scalping kind of strategy and you take multiple setups per day. What kind of sessions are you trading, and what does your setup kind of look like if you had to describe it to me?
I trade New York session. I just trade Nas 100, and I used to trade so many different pairs, but now I just locked in on Nas 100. I trade a little bit after the market open. When the stock market opens, I give it a little bit of time to move. A lot of times it'll give it a manipulation move. I just let all that settle down, and then from there I just trade supply and demand. And so supply and demand is simple to me because I look at it on a smaller time frame, and I call it supply and demand, but it's just normal market structure. If you really look at the charts and see what you're doing, it's just a break of structure. You're coming down to retest a demand, or you're breaking structure to the downside, or coming up to retest a supply. So for me, it's just a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, low, lower high, lower low. So I feel like supply and demand, the way I trade it, it's just structure. The supply and demand, I guess I call it, is just the entry point. But so for me, I just trade basic structure. And a lot of people, they think they have to trade, just look at the charts in so many different ways and create their own special way of going about it. But the basics work. We range, or we go up, or we go down. We're in an uptrend, we're in a downtrend, or we're ranging. And if we're in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That still works. So I just keep it simple. And like I said, the entry model is supply and demand. And I guess I could say I get a better entry than just simple structure that everybody's taught. But I feel at the end of the day, it is just basic structure that I trade, and I trade on a very small time frame. So I'm just in and out. I go for like a 1 to 2 risk to reward, sometimes a 1 to 3, and that's all I need.
And how do you generally manage your trades? Are you usually quite aggressive with going break even? Like you said, you usually go for 1 to 1, 1 to 2, and 1 to 3s. Are you usually pretty aggressive with that? Do you have like kind of like a mechanical way of managing trades, or do you just do it kind of based on price action?
I honestly do it based off of price action, what type of volume we have in the markets. If I'm targeting a 1 to 2 and it's just slow to get to that 1 to 2, I'll typically just put stops at break even. I might even close early if we're just not moving. Like I said, I trade very small time frames, so I need volume. I don't need back and forth, and I'm up and then I'm down and I'm up and then I'm down. Like I've back tested a lot, and that's one thing that people need to do is like know your data, know your strategy, and know your average hold time. Know when something works. Like for me, I'm very like picky with when I trade, just because I know I've traded for years, so I just know the data on my trading. I know what time to get on the charts. I know what time to get off the charts. I know if I'm in a trade too long, you should probably just call it quits. It might not be the day you're looking for. It might not be good volume. It might just be a ranging day. I don't know. I guess I could say structure. I use structure too, but I'm not about to just hold a trade for 3 hours hoping for it goes for a 1 to 3. If we're not there yet, and for me, if we're not there within 30 minutes to an hour, I'm probably gonna get out, put stops at break even or something.
And do you look at the higher time frames at all as well?
I do look at the daily as targets, but that's really the only thing that I look at. I do like to look at the trend. The trend is your friend. So I do. I don't trade off of the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, but I look at it. So I want to see the trend. Are we trending up or are we trending down? Like I said, the trend is your friend. I mean, I'm looking for higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. I'm just looking for a trend. I'm looking for good volume. So the daily, I use it as a target. Like today, for an example, I targeted yesterday's daily low, or I could target yesterday's daily high. So I used it for targets, but I don't really use it as in a structured way.
Awesome. Well, in closing, I'm just going to ask one last question. What kind of advice would you give to people starting out now? And like, what kinds of things would you specifically tell them to avoid doing so that they can kind of skip some of the hurdles that maybe you had to jump over when you started out? What would you say to them to stay away from, in your opinion?
Uh, I feel like there's a lot, but I feel like the main ones is don't over leverage. It's not worth it. I mean, you're just gonna lose your accounts and you're gonna lose money. You're gonna in trading, you want to be mentally right. And when you're blowing accounts and blowing accounts and blowing accounts, it doesn't put you in the right headspace. It just puts you negative and down. Like make it simple. Honestly, I say make it simple. Just risk a little bit. There's no point in over leveraging. Don't stay on the charts all day. Like I said, know your data. Know your data. If you typically are on the charts for an hour, and that's your average hold time. Let's say your average hold time is an hour. Don't be on the charge for 6 hours. Just know your average hold time. Don't over risk. Don't rush. There's like I said, there's just a lot, but I really feel like the main things is don't rush the process. Trading's not going anywhere, and definitely don't over risk.
Awesome. Well, Demone, thank you very much for sharing some of those insights with us. Honestly, I think a lot of the guys at home watching this will have learned a lot. So we really appreciate it. So thanks for chatting with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.